Today, I want to introduce you to the concept of thin slicing and how it's a brilliant hack to really help you in your customer experience leadership. So the first thing I'm wondering is, have you ever heard about the concept of thin slicing? I can explain it really well because I'm Dutch. I'm Nienke Bloem, by the way, customer experience expert, global speaker, educator, and owner of the CX Game. And I think it's really interesting because in the Netherlands, when we go to the market or a cheese shop, they always ask you when you ask for, well, old Gouda, when other people say oude Goudse kaas, old Goudse kaas, I'll just say it as we say it. They ask, do you want to taste a slice? So they give you a slice, and this one slice represents the taste of the whole cheese. Now translating it to leadership and to customer experience. So the interesting thing is, what kind of thin slices do you see in your organization, and do they taste like the whole cheese? Let me give an example. For example, you have a big leadership meeting and you have an external speaker, like me, maybe. And what happens, you start at 9, and then between 9 and 9:15 people come in. And you thought there will be 50 people, but only 40 people show up. For me, it's a thin slice, and it's a question, are leaders often late and don't show up? And I think that thin slice, does it represent the whole cheese? That often this is an accepted leadership behavior. Another example, a leader was going to visit a customer contact center, and the last moment, he didn't go. He says, I've got other priorities, a meeting came up, and he canceled the meeting. You know what? 2 months later, I was there, and a supervisor in the contact center said, you know what? Our agents, they feel like the plankton of our organization. This one slice of behavior showed something different, bigger. Actually, that leaders didn't care about the contact center. So this thin slicing, first of all, you always have to check if thin slices represent the whole. But this is something that you can have people identify their own behavior. It's also thin slices on the outside that you can see. For example, a review. A review is one thin slice. And what does it say? Does it maybe represent the whole cheese or more customers? Of course, you have the data for it. And I think thin slicing is a brilliant tool and a brilliant hack that you can use in your leadership practice to check, to validate, and to have the conversation. Because you can say, I see this behavior when it comes to, for example, leadership. Do you see what that means? What does it mean to you? And I think this, especially when I translate it in my new keynote, for example, that I'm doing, it's on customer-centric leadership. And I'm having the conversation if leaders really play the ball. Do they show the behavior? And I check with them if there's some thin slice that they recognize. Have they had customer contact in the last year? Did they share customer stories? Did they check with customer data? When big decisions were made, did they ask what's impacting the customer? Thin slices. And what's really interesting, when you have the right conversation and you show them what you can do with it, it changed the game. And that's the great thing what thin slicing can do. It puts you into the seat of a professional and you have the right conversation. And that's when behavior will change. So please use thin slicing as a concept. If you want to know more, be in contact with me. Or if you're looking for a great keynote speaker on customer experience, my name is Nienke Bloem. You can reach me through the contact details in the show notes. Or if you want to maybe receive my monthly CX Greets, know that it's monthly, weekly, with brilliant leadership tactics, hacks, and stories that will spice up your leadership.